All right, we're gonna start the discussion. So basically, we're gonna talk about structuring of our paper, how we're gonna structure in our paper. So I think that we will follow the tutorial where we found in the Harvard case study place, where it says it defines three different kind of case, which is the evaluation and then the analysis. What are the other two? I don't remember.
The
Analysis
analysis.
and what is another one? Problem something. I
I
don't
don't
remember. Anyway, there's three cases, and then our case should fall under evaluation case. So I think we'll follow the structure for doing an evaluation case explaining the tutorial, which is we will be looking at structure, looking at like the lessons where the company had like all these factors where company had done while developing its company. Some of the things he had done, if it's good, is it bad, or is it like in between? All these things, we will analyze all those points, and then we will write it in our paper, included as our analysis
Yeah.
and evidence, and we find evidence to support each of those. That's
Yeah, yeah.
so we can follow the
That's what
reasoning.
we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So like just jumping into more details about it. In that analysis part or our evaluation part, we gonna say our like the structure would be how startup has used lean methodologies, how they used A/B testing. That's what they did.
Yeah, they did there,
A/B
yes,
A/B
methodology
testing,
and A/B
beta
testing.
testing. How they use customer feedback and that learn, measure, loop, learn,
Build, measure, learn.
build, measure, learn loop. So how they use these things. So this is our like main focus in the evaluation, and because this is what we are learning in our course, this is our strategic toolbox. So we're gonna compare our knowledge through our course and what they did. So that would be the major focus of our like that's the objective of our key study,
Yes.
of the study.
Yeah, we will focus on that.
And yeah, and in the end we'll end with a recommendation and action plan that would say like if this action plan, if we have to do the same thing, how we gonna tackle these things.
Yeah.
So like there would be a long term, like if we have to take it in a long term as a startup, the long term is
I'm
1
not
year,
sure
one and a
like
half
if
year.
long term or short term will be a good thing to imply here. Probably we just need I'm not sure. I was just thinking like we'll just use the lessons learned and then follow it. Like let's say what are the things that Dropbox has done, and then we could learn from there. I don't know if we actually need a, because we're not for the long, medium, and short term thing. We need an actual project that we can work on to do that. We want to do a more generic one. So I don't know if the long, medium, short term will imply good in our situation, but
In this situation it implies last time what we did was generic because it was a
Yeah.
theoretical matter, but this time we have every details. So we have like idea, we have market research, like what how the market is gonna expand in next 5 years. That's what they say that. So the study said that the co-founder who Houston knew that in 2011, he knew in 2007 that by 2011 online storage market would be around $700 million.
700. Yeah.
So
700.
like at that time the company knew the future, and in 2009 they found out a new study that said that by 2014 the storage would be around 1 billion or something, or like 2 billion. There is a number
Yeah,
there.
I remember that part.
So
Yes.
so this is not a generic study this time, so we can easily pick up on these numbers and write down some little bit of action plan.
Those could be including the data quantitative and quantitative.
Yeah,
but-
so taking on these data we can make an action plan. Like if we were the guys sitting at 2007
Are you-
level, how we used
Is
to.
that what you're saying? The action plan you want to make it's for Dropbox?
Yeah,
Because I was thinking for imply to other startup.
Other stuff.
Because instead of we just using Dropbox as a good example of how what
using
they did.
Dropbox we have to give them a action plan that says how to tackle whatever challenges they were facing.
Yeah, that's our whole purpose of the paper. And in the end, I was thinking our conclusion would be lessons learned. So management lessons learned. Basically, it's
Okay.
like what are the things that we can learn from Dropbox, and what are the things we can take away if we want to do something else like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, instead of applying all over again to Dropbox, like what will we do if we were the co-founder
No,
of
no,
Dropbox?
we don't have
Is
to
that what you're
write
saying?
these things, but we have to include a little bit about these things. That's what is
I mean,
the
the
part
action
of the
plan, right?
recommendation, So it gives strong, detailed recommendations, including short, medium, long-term steps to be carried
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So we have to give some recommendations for the similar condition or for a startup, at least for a
I guess
startup.
we can do for a general startup case. Like in the short term, we will do market research. We will utilize
much
the build
resources we
measure
will
learn
use for this,
resources, and then we'll look at studies like this, and then we will do the build measure learn prototype and then A and B testing, sort of thing
Yeah.
for a general startup, and then move on to the medium term. They will do more exploitation and a little more exploration for the future to
So Gary means
see
not
the
just for
trend.
the Dropbox, right?
Like
Not for the Dropbox,
Like
but
what-
we
yeah.
have to be specific this
That's what I
time.
was saying,
we can't
yeah.
be go.
Yeah,
we can't go generic because last time we
we
went
will-
generic and the feedback was that like I used the word optimal over
I get
there,
what you mean,
remember?
yeah, I get what you
So
mean.
now this time we can't say that okay. He has to do
Yeah.
validation. He has
This
to
ti-
use value proposition. We have to tell them the numbers or something in very.
I see what you mean. Like when we're doing it this time, we will imply Dropbox's success into our action plan as
Yeah.
a backup example.
Yeah, that's what
We'll
we are
back it up with it.
Okay, yeah. So that would be our conclusion plus
that will be the action
recommendation.
plan when we back up the example with
So
the action.
yeah, so like we can start with little bit introduction, the company's challenges, and then go through our strategic toolbox information, whatever we have
Mm-hmm. We'll
learned,
do-
and using that we'll compare with Dropbox.
Yes,
And
that's a good
ultimately we're
structure.
gonna do little bit of
Mm-hmm.
lessons learned, recommendations, and
That will be a good structure. So we do.
Conclusion.
Let me summarize this again. We do an introduction, and then we talk about challenges, and then what is this part? Do we summarize?
this part would be the analysis. So in analysis we're gonna use whatever lean methodology they have used and the things we have learned. We're gonna just put our theory
Yeah.
plus their experience
I get what
and
you mean.
analyze it.
Okay. Exactly.
So that's what we are doing right now. So like you have inputted the value proposition. So value proposition is our strategic toolbox.
Yeah.
So what they did in terms of value proposition and what is the theory?
So-
Just little bit of analysis.
In this part, we will write about their success and we analyze their success
As
using
our
our theory.
lessons,
And then
yeah.
at last, we'll write an action plan for a more general case, and then we'll use Dropbox as an example to back up the action plan.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we can conclude. Okay, that sounds like a good structure for that paper, and it's about 7 minutes.
Alright.
We need 3 more minutes. I don't think we need 3 more minutes. We probably
So
pretty
like
much got the.
we can discuss about case history, like what we learned here, what we read.
Mhm.
So
Actually, let's find the qualitative and quantitative data part. So for that, I'm not like really good at differentiating the qualitative and quantitative data. So I think actually the outside concept as well. I think that's one of the key rubric that he won, applying outside concept.
yeah.
Yeah, so the
That
value
part.
proposition is outside.
So the outside concepts are whenever there is a startup is going on, they don't define that we are going to use lean methodology, and they don't really define. They use the process, and our outside concept is lean methodology or strategic innovation toolbox.
Okay, I guess we
so.
already
So
include that.
whatever we are writing, the value proposition, whatever we are using for our business model innovation and canvas, these are our outside concepts only,
We'll have that
which
there.
we are analyzing and comparing with what they did. So this is our outside concept.
Right.
And what were you
So
saying
the-
about
the qualitative and
qualitative?
quantitative?
Yeah. So the qualitative data would be how they stumbled upon the idea, and then what they did to move forward for
So
the idea.
okay, so basically we will not specifically write about these. We'll include them in there, which we
Yeah.
already have when we talk about just now. It's
So
all
like
included.
yeah, so like qualitative data here would be that guy forgot
All right.
his pen drive or
Yeah.
flash drive, and he thought that there should be something
I guess
he can just synchronize all over wherever he's working.
quantitative will be these
Quantitative
you
data
talked
would
about
be
just now.
he found out that there are like 10
Yeah.
different companies. He found out that there is a huge market
Yeah,
for this
there is a
this
market.
this business, and he found out there is a huge potential growth. Then he found out that people are moving from PC to
Mobile.
stuff. So computers,
So he started working with
smartphones or
Android
iPads or
and
those things.
App Store.
So this is like he quantified those in numbers. Like
Yes.
there is 33% increase in use of mobiles.
Yeah.
So like that.
Yeah.
So this is our quantitative part. So we can include this during
We'll
our study
include that.
analysis.
Okay, so I will just continue whatever I have wrote
Yeah.
all the way, and then I'll finish that exploration and exploitation part, which I will include. Let me see what I should include.
So
I will include like some of the obstacles that I face and what are the things. Like I will include the mobile part as well, because that's part of exploration and that's part of following the trend. I will include how they catch, how they find
what
the
you
trend.
should do when you are writing these concepts, use all the outside concepts, so like BMC, you can write a little
Okay,
bit
yeah.
about that,
I'll write about BMC.
and then rest of the other tools we have studied.
Yeah, I already wrote about the build, measure, learn loop. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I already did for the A and B testing. I actually haven't included the A and B testing. I will include this part as well, where they do the beta testing and all these things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do is I'll introduce, write some problem statements and the challenges of the case studies, and in the end we'll write some solid recommendations, lessons learned, and
I think you can outline the recommendation and he can continue to elaborate the whole
yeah,
recommendation.
I'll
You
try
can
to
outline
do
it, yeah. You can
We-
outline
we-
it and he will finish all the whatever detailing.
Okay.
The thing is that this is the most toughest part,
Yeah.
So we all will work in
Yeah.
that. We'll try to outline and start
So
reading and
I'll finish this part and you can start outlining and I will put my input in there. Let's
Yeah.
see anything I can change and then he will finish up the everything at the end,
Yeah.
like with the
Okay.
outline. That's-
ultimately we
sounds
have
like
to
a-
go through like whole paper that it is nicely like linked between different
Yeah.
parts.
Okay, now we have 11 minutes.